Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. As promised, here it is, the video of me making my stuffing for Thanksgiving. It is 100% not WW friendly. Just be forewarned, you might want to turn it off now. And if you do, I understand. But that said, at my WW meeting tonight, one of the topics was, what food screams Thanksgiving to you? Over 90% of the class said stuffing. So we talked about it, how we're gonna fit it in, what we're gonna do. We all mentioned holiday food on a holiday, regular food on a regular day. And for me, stuffing is definitely a holiday food. I get it once a year, sometimes twice if I make it like at Easter or whatever, but we don't usually. So usually once a year. And you have to lose it like you live it. And you have to live it like you lose it. Are you ever not going to eat something that you absolutely love again? No, you're not. You have to learn how to fit it in. You have to learn to watch your portion, and you just do it. And that's what I'm doing. I love my mama's stuffing. I'm not changing it. I'm not lightening it up at all. It is what it is. So without further ado, because it's really late on Tuesday night, let's get making this stuffing. Okay, so for this recipe, we're going to need a couple loaves of cheap white bread. We're going to need some chicken broth, some poultry seasoning. My favorite is the Bell's. This to me is the absolute best, but I don't know if it's available in every area. Then we're gonna need some celery and some onions, and I already chopped it because you do not need to see me chop all this celery and onions. There's about 3 cups of celery and about 1.5 cups of onion in there, chopped fine. 3 eggs. This is 12 ounces of bacon, and I chopped it very fine. Salt and pepper, and a tube of pork sausage. That's what we need to make our stuffing. So let's get started on it. And like I said, there really is no recipe. I had a very, very hard time writing it down. I just do it because I know how to do it. And I do it by look and I do it by feel. So did the best I could. Let's get making it. Okay, so in the biggest pan you have, I have the sausage and the bacon in here going. And then I'm gonna add the celery and onions. And this is the longest part of the procedure. Letting this all cook down. Letting it all meld together. Getting the meat all the way cooked through. Getting the juices going. This takes a little while. I just kind of give it a stir every once in a while. Your house will smell amazing. And at this point, I do not season this mixture at all. I'll season everything when I'm mixing it. Just kind of mix it all up. And honestly, just let it go. It'll start cooking down. And make it easier to stir and turn. It'll start getting greasy because your meat will start cooking. Your onions and your celery will start getting nice and soft and translucent. So we're just gonna stop messing with it if I can and let it go for a bit. And I'll be back to show you at about the halfway point. So we're about halfway cooked. You can see how much it cooked down. The sausage is getting nice and brown. The last thing to cook is the bacon. So we just keep giving it a stir every once in a while until it's all nice and cooked down and the bacon is not crisp but not floppy either. So I will be back when it's finally all done. Okay, you know it's done when it starts sticking to the bottom of the pan. You can see there's like the little brown bits, and that's good. You want that. But as soon as it starts doing that, just give it another couple minutes with a lot of stirring. And then you know it's done. About 35, 40 minutes it took for this. Okay, now we're just gonna shut off the heat and we're gonna let this cool down just a little bit. To help it cool a little bit quicker, you can transfer it to a bowl so it's not in the hot pan retaining all the heat. So we need to work with our hands, so you definitely want it to cool down a little bit. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is start mixing it up. So I'm just gonna take the bread and just start crumbling it into the bowl, a couple slices at a time, and I kind of crumble and tear and crumble and tear. You don't want huge pieces, but you don't want it all in like breadcrumbs. I'll probably start with about 9 or 10 slices. This bowl is not going to be big enough. I should have got my big sauce pot out. A big stock pot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this still steaming hot mixture, because I told you it's late and I want to go to bed. Kind of mix that in there. Poultry seasoning. I'm going to tell you right now, I use a ton of it. This is what, to me, just makes it. It smells like the incense at church. Salt and pepper. And then an egg. Then a little bit of chicken broth. And we're just going to go in and start mixing with our hands. More bread. Sometimes, if the mood would strike my mom, she would wet the bread with the broth. But wet bread kind of grosses me out, so I don't really do that.
Disgusting.
I wasn't sure if I was going to make it through this video without crying. But I think I'll be okay. There are two recipes I make that I still, to this day, cry through. This is one of them, and pizzelles are the other. Because my mom used to crank out pizzelles at Christmas time like a mad woman. So I always think of her when I make pizzelles. And pierogies, when we make homemades. But you know, all my sister's here, my niece is here, my cousins are here. So that kind of keeps the tears at bay. My sister-in-law usually is here. Because we, you know, we just have such a good time and just talk and make. And usually when we make pierogies, we make about 400 at a time. So that's a pretty big undertaking. So I'm just kind of layering it all in. And like I said, you have to feel it. Doug is my cameraman tonight, and every time I put that poultry seasoning in,
And the pepper.
He backs away. If you saw my cook with me the other day, he went into a coughing fit over the pepper. But man, I cannot believe how much that poultry seasoning smells like the incense at church. Doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
100%. And see, this is where the whole no recipe comes in, because you just have to feel it. And right now, this is feeling a little bit dry to me.
Put more meat in.
I'm going to put more meat in. Would you like to make the stuffing, sir?
That's the best part.
I'm going to use it all. Relax. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. And yes, I will taste this because raw eggs don't bother me. So I will definitely be tasting it for flavor. I wish Andrew was home. He is my stuffing aficionado. That kid loves stuffing as much as I do. But he's not going to be home until tomorrow. He had track practice today and he had to work tonight. And his girlfriend's giving him a ride home. They're going to come home together, and she has a interview with the Maryland State Police for an internship. So wishing her all the best with that one.
So good.
So basically, this is what you do. You just keep, now that's the last egg. And you know, it's a guideline. If you think it needs another egg, throw one in. 3 is generally enough for me because I really load in on the chicken broth. And Doug asked me the other day, he goes, why do you put eggs in it? What does that do? And my answer was, I put eggs in it because my mama put eggs in it. I don't know. I think it gives it a little bit of richness, maybe. I mean, you definitely can't taste egg. And I do tend to, tonight, I will make this a little bit on the wetter side because it will soak in during the night as it's sitting in the fridge. And then tomorrow, before I stuff the turkey, and I do put my stuffing in the turkey. And if there's any that doesn't fit in, I'll stuff the back cavity and I will stuff the neck area. And if there's any that doesn't fit in, I will put it in a casserole dish. And I did mention the other day that we slow roast our turkey. So our turkey will probably go in about 9 o'clock tomorrow night. And what I do is I rub it all down with pure olive oil. Stuff it, well, I stuff it first, rub it down with olive oil. And then I put it in a 350-degree oven for 1 hour. And that will kill any of the surface bacteria that's on it. Then I turn the oven down to 200 degrees. And then I slow roast it. When you roast a turkey in a moderate oven, you roast it for about 15 minutes a pound. When you slow roast a turkey, it's 3 times that. So a 20-pound turkey in a moderate oven would take about 5 hours. In a slow roast, it takes about 15 hours. So I'll probably put it in around 9 o'clock Wednesday night. And when you also put it breast side down, that way all the juices go to the breast meat. And the great thing about slow roasting is you can't overcook it. Once it's done, and it will not dry out. It will not overcook. So if you need to keep it in there longer, you can. I was going to say something else. Oh, just a little clue about your ovens. I definitely know this is true for the United States. I'm not sure about, overseas, but in the United States, all ovens have a safety feature where ovens shut off after being on for a continuous 12 hours. So if you are slow roasting a turkey and it's going to be in there for more than 12 hours, You need to turn your oven off at some point and give it 10 seconds and then turn it back on. Just a little hint. And if your turkey is like smaller, like less than 12 pounds, it does 20 minutes a pound for a moderate oven. And you would just triple that amount of time for a slow roast. We've been doing our turkeys like that now for about 5 years. And we really, really like it. You put it in a nice roasting pan on a rack. You don't cover it. Whew. I'm getting an arm workout. I have a little bit of bread left. Might as well use it up. Then I'm gonna have to start tasting it and see what adjustments I need. If I need more salt, more poultry seasoning, which, like I said, I can never have enough poultry seasoning. And I know this is boring, guys, and I'm sorry. You don't need to see me do the same thing over and over again, but you can fast forward through it. That's why I'm trying to chit-chat with you. Keep it interesting. Tell you stories. There's a lot of meat in here. I might need to put more bread in. Okay, time to taste test. Oh yeah. More poultry seasoning? Or did I nail it?
Yeah, it's more.
More bread? Pretty
tell.
meaty.
Yeah, I like it meaty.
Just a little bit more poultry seasoning. I think it needs a little more salt too.
Maybe.
Just not too much, just a little. I think I'm gonna do a little bit more bread.
Oh, he's got the cat. Don't want to squirrel.
Adam, can you let the dog out?
Yeah,
Oh, you have the cat.
yeah, I know, that's why I'm trying to like get them off from them.
Real life around here, folks. You know that. I say it 100 times a video. We are a working home here. I'm not in a studio. I don't have any fancy equipment. My family barge is in. My cameraman gets a coughing fit because of the pepper. It's real life, but honestly, I wouldn't want it any other way. They're my favorite YouTubers to watch, the ones that are real life. I love the ones with little kids who, you know, the little kids come traipsing through the videos. Although I gotta tell you, the last couple days, I mean, you know, I faithfully watch my Weight Watcher peeps, but the last couple days I've been binge watching people Christmas decorating their houses. Because I'm very excited to decorate my house this year. And I think I will, I'm not going to film me decorating because that's like watching paint dry. And I'm certainly not as organized as the people I watch. But if you would like, I've had some requests to see my Christmas decorations since we do go a little bit overboard. So I will film like a before, like do a pan of the room before with our just regular everyday decorations. and then show you after the Christmas decos are up. Okay, I think, what do you think, Doug?
I have to taste again.
You have to taste it again? I don't know what I would do if I didn't lift weights, man. My arm would be killing me. Doug's gonna say it needs more poultry seasoning.
Nailed it.
More poultry seasoning? A little bit?
I don't think
Little
so.
stash?
If you want.
A little bit. Okay. Moistness level good? More bread? More anything?
Pretty darn good as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, folks. There you have it. My mama's stuffing. It's good like this, but man, after it cooks in the oven, or well, and I like it in the turkey because it just gives it that extra burst of flavor. It is just, it's my favorite. I could forgo everything else on Thanksgiving and just have a plate of this. But like I said, it's about 16 points for 3/4 of a cup. So, you know, holiday food on a holiday.
Worth every bit of it.
So there you have it. There's the stuffing. Well, there you have it. My mama's stuffing. I'm so sorry it was so long. I just felt like I needed to show you the entire process because it's a process. And I didn't want to like fast forward or cut anything out because I wanted you to see, you know, exactly how it was done. Because it is so hard to type out a recipe when you don't really have a recipe. So thanks for sticking with me if you made it to the end. And if not, I totally understand. So with that, have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. I will be back on Wednesday with a full day of eating and meeting highlights and my weigh-in, which I already know the results of, which I wasn't surprised with. And tomorrow I start the purple plan, or Wednesday, I start the purple plan. Just feel like changing it up for 2 weeks, and then I'll probably be right back on the blue, but we'll see. Anyway, have a great night. Thanks for watching. If you know anyone that would like this video, please feel free to share it. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, you can hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, and I will be back on Wednesday with a full day of eating.